Hey everybody, Christian from the Community Brew Shop here, and we are here at our, what is now becoming an annual hop harvest. We're up here in Wickham, New Brunswick, at a friend of ours' property, family property, right on the, got some beautiful scenery behind us there, and just turn around, behind me is the hops that we'll be picking today, and up there on the deck, we're also going to be brewing beer. So the plan for the day is we brought the our new Brewzilla up with us, and we are going to brew a traditional English stout on the deck while we pick our hops, and we'll be picking while we do our mash and the various early stages of making the beer, and then we're going to add the fresh off the vine, pick them, throw them in. They're going to go right in the during the boil. So these are a wild hop because this is a family property that's, first of all, not in our family, and second of all, was settled, probably hundreds of years ago. We're not sure of the origin of the hops. We're estimating based on, we did use them last year in a different brew, and based on the results out of that, we're looking at a pretty low alpha acid content, which is fun. But it's a great experience. It's a great day. Look forward to it all the time. So we're going to pick, we're going to brew, and we're going to have ourselves a day. So thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers. All right, so our Brewzilla is coming up to temperature for our mash in. And we're going to start picking some of these great looking hops. So here's what makes up our grain bill for the day. So we got some mare's otter, we got some chocolate, there's some brown malt in here, a few rice hulls for the Brewzilla to make sure that we get our good drainage and the pump works okay, and some barley as well, so we have some roasted barley. So it's a pretty standard grain bill. You can see we got a pretty good crush in there. Everything looks pretty good, not too powdery for the Brewzilla, and yeah, so this is the base of our traditional stout. All right, so as many homebrewers and beer enthusiasts probably know, hops are a bine. That's with a B, not with a V. So they grow pretty interestingly. And of course, if you follow a lot of the hop farms in the Maritimes social media accounts, you've probably seen the big fields of the hop vines all growing up, on wires or posts, and that's how they're farmed commercially. But out in the wild, it's pretty interesting. So if you follow, you can see here is that they'll wrap themselves around pretty much anything. Including trees, like you can see here. Pull this one down. So we've got just a regular tree here, and then you've got your hops just wrapped right around the stalk, and then of course it grows up and up and up and up and up. So yeah, it's an interesting look at a plant that we see so much of as beer enthusiasts. We see so much of it grown commercially. It's easy to forget that nature works in interesting ways, and how one thing leads into another, and one tree supports another plant without even really knowing it. But yeah, I just always found that interesting. So Derek, where we have predicted that these have a fairly low alpha acid content, what do you think, what kind of characteristics are they going to add to our stout today?
So I went with the Moose Mountain hops that we have, because Moose Mountain's just up the St. John River here. So I estimated the alpha acids to be around 4%. Which is the same as the Moose Mountain. But just reading about old hops that have been kind of growing around this region, I'm assuming the flavor characteristics you're going to get out of them would be similar to any noble hop you have. Okay. So like Fuggle or any of those noble style hops that you can find in England. Mm-hmm. I was reading up on the wild Loyalist hop that was brought over here a long time ago. And this is an old Loyalist farm, so I'm assuming it's similar to that. Okay. So I'm expecting some, like green, earthy, a little bit spicy flavor out of it, that kind of thing. But I think it'll pair well with the stout recipe we use, because there's a lot of, dark chocolatey flavor. So it should kind of complement that fairly well and keep it pretty balanced at the same time. So awesome. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway, but we'll see how it goes.
Sounds good. So what you want to look for in hops when it comes to harvest time is you want this real papery texture to them. I don't know if you can hear that crunching, but you can see how there's not very much moisture, if at any at all, in this cone here. So it's not brown, so it's not overdone, overripe, but you can see it has a really nice papery texture to it, and that's going to go very well in our brew today. So you can see I got a big patch of them up there in this tree, so I'm gonna haul them down and get them down here on the ground and then just pick them all off. So it, I think we've got quite a few up there. Should be kind of the lion's share of what we're going to use in our brew today. Sometimes you just need a good tug to get them down. They come down pretty easy. So as we mention all the time, the Community Brew Shop, we take a lot of pride in serving our customers and trying to bring you the best content we can on this fledgling channel. So my current location is, I am in a tree because we got a lot of wild hops over there. And we're gonna do our best to get to them. So thanks for watching the video, everybody. All right, so we got it down. And as you can see, there's all kinds on here for a wild vine, so we're gonna haul them out, get them down here on the ground, and just pick them all up. And that's wild hop harvesting.
Good puppy.
So because we're using distilled water today, Derek was just adding the water treatment as per the recipe. Obviously, we just use the water profile from Uptown St. John on most of our brews. I have well water at my house, so a little different, little extra step in the process for us today.
Oh, I'm having fun right at the moment. I'm enjoying it. This is the moment.
You'll start to smell it here soon. The dark grain's all in
No
the middle.
cilantro and I get kicked out of the kitchen. So, we have these sliced tomatoes on the side.
Some of them. I'm getting you too fast.
Mix it a little bit.
All right, so our mash went pretty well. We're just approaching the 60 minutes now. So our mash out temperature, we mashed at 68 degrees for the duration of the 1 hour, and our mash out temperature is 74.6. So I have reset the temperature on the Brewzilla to bring the temperature up to that, and then we'll have a 10-minute mash out, and then we will get ready to bring it back up to a boil and throw in our recently harvested hops. All right, our drip has started here. We've got our mash pipe out of the Brewzilla, and you can see our grain there is just dripping out. So I'm going to increase the temperature and get us up and get ready for the boil. So Derek, you know, obviously the hops that we sell at the shop are pelletized and compressed. So since we're not using that style of hops today, and we're going to use the fresh hops, so how does that change your recipe design?
Yeah, so today we went with fresh wet hops. So we picked these right off the plant today, as you've probably seen. But when you go with the wet hops, the problem is a lot of the matter contains a lot of moisture. So when you throw it into your brew, you should do at least a 6, maybe to 8 times more. So it actually fills up your kettle quite a bit. So it is a little bit more difficult to do, but you can't beat the freshness. These just came off the vines an hour ago. So it's right into the stout today, and we'll see how it turns out.
Awesome.
You never put the canopy up.
Well, it's just kind of windy, so we thought
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
curious what you thought of it. You haven't seen the canopy yet.
Not that one yet.
30 minutes?
That's the 15.
Last one?
Yeah, sorry, there's three.
Three of them? I thought there was only 2.
Yeah, when they pop out, you know, they're carbonated.
Yeah.
Kind of opening them for
I want that to go in too.
We usually don't use distilled water. We usually just use tap water and then modify it. But just
You guys are so cute.
Okay, so the wort chiller is in and the temperature is rapidly coming down. Really, we found with the Brewzilla, once you take the neoprene jacket off it and there's a little bit of a breeze, as you can tell here today, with the chiller going through it, we'll be down to temperature, no problem at all. So everything went pretty well with the wet hops. It was a great time while the boil was going on. We've got some friends and of course the family that this is their property. It was great to hang out with them and talk politics and music and friends and beer, and it was a great afternoon. So all in all, roaring success. So our wet hops worked very well. We just did them in simple muslin bags to make sure that they didn't clog the pump or anything, and we had no issues with recirculation while the boil was going on. So we are going to be using Escarpment Laboratories English Ale 1. It's great for traditional English style beers, and since of course we made the stout today, we're really looking forward to it. I've personally used this yeast and in a lot of porters, and it's a good seller at the shop. So we're really looking forward to seeing how it's going to perform in this traditional English stout. So also we did hit our gravity target, which was great. We had projected an original gravity of 1046, and we came in at 1045, and of course we'll still lose a little bit of wort as it cools. So we're looking for pretty much to be bang on with our starting gravity, which was, really exciting after kind of a fun little brew day. So all right, so the day is coming to a close here. We're just about ready to pitch our yeast, and as you can see behind me, we've taken down the bines, the ones that were hanging from the tree that I was climbing earlier today. Everything's down. We had a great harvest. We harvested considerably more than we needed for the brew today, so we'll probably do another one, maybe this week, just to kind of play around with them and experiment with these, kind of unknown wild hops. So thanks for tuning in for this video and, virtually sharing our Hop Harvest 2021 with us. Be sure to check us out at communitybrewshop.ca. You can reach out to us via email at beer@communitybrewshop.ca, and of course you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at The Community Brew Shop. It's a great way to reach out if you have questions about the hop harvest. Maybe you've got a harvest coming up yourself and you want to kind of get some tips or talk about how we did things today to make your hop harvest more successful, or maybe a wet hop brew more successful. We're happy to help. Reach out anytime. And of course, for yeast, grains, adjuncts, small tools, the Community Brew Shop is your place to go. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Cheers.